The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Sun Tzu, Art of War. By now, you may have noticed that there is a massive revolution happening here on Earth as the collective is going through their spiritual awakening journey and shifting consciousness from 3D to 5D. So what can you do to preserve your energy, protect your energy, and support the collective as we transition from this 3D consciousness to this 5D consciousness? Well, stick around because you're about to find out. Hello, hi, welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm so eternally grateful for you. My name is Charlene Lizette. If you're returning or if you're new, either way, thank you so much to you. I hope you click subscribe. I am here on Earth to support you in radically transforming your life through self-love and spirituality. You may be aware by now that there is a freedom convoy that has resurrected here in Canada and that has turned into this massive movement to support freedom for all of humanity. Other countries have started to follow through, like Australia as well, and we're seeing a bunch of protests and fight back from the collective towards oppressive systems across the world, whether you're in Italy, France, Germany, and so many other countries as well. As we are experiencing this massive awakening and shifting from this 3D to 5D consciousness, it's important to understand what the difference is between 3D and 5D. This will help you to align yourself. This will help you to vibrate at the frequency of 5D and to also heal wherever it is that you need to heal so that you can vibrate in this new frequency and help to shift the collective consciousness to help restore balance here on Earth. So, a few things to know. 3D consciousness is very ego-based. It's conditional love. The ego drives the individual. There is a lot of fear and chaos and uncertainty. There's scarcity mindset. There's often this frequency of victimization in the self, which means that one is a victim to everything that is happening around them rather than recognizing that every opportunity or every moment, even moments of adversity, are actually lessons from the universe. The mind rules over the heart, and there is denser energy, which makes manifestations a lot more difficult to come to fruition, and it slows down our ability to manifest. So as we are shifting into this 5D consciousness, or if you are interested in vibrating at the frequency of 5D consciousness, here's a few things that you can start implementing into your life to support you as we transition not only individually, but as a collective as well. Rather than being ego-based, being in the 5D consciousness means that we start vibrating from a soul identity. It means that we are recognizing who we are, connected to our truest, most authentic, highest self. It is an understanding who we are as an individual connected to source, not to tangible 3D materialistic things. The consciousness now shifts to unity. It's understanding that there is oneness. You and I, while we may be very, very different, we are connected and we are one. We are one with our animals, with pets, with Mother Earth, with nature, with everything around us. Every time that you emit an energy out into this universe, it vibrates at a frequency that has a ripple effect out into the collective, whether it be your neighbors, whether it be people that you work with, whether it be your pets, your family members, so on and so forth. Even things that you own, like tangible things, right? Whether it be a plant, I don't have one here, it's over there, or anything else. When we vibrate at 5D consciousness, we understand that we as an individual are co-creating our own reality. Our manifestations happen faster because we are aligned with the emotion and the feelings and the energy of that which we desire to bring to fruition. We are ruled by our heart center. We understand that everything that is happening to us is actually happening for us and is happening in divine order so that it can either support us through our growth or through our enlightenment or awakening journey. And we have abundance mindset, which means that we understand that we are forever able to attract whatever it is that we desire effortlessly. Now, all of that might seem really, really exciting for you and for me and for all of us because it really is. It's the shift that we have been feeling happening, the rumblings the last couple of years as we had to digest and shed all these old belief systems that may have been keeping us limited, locked, blocked, stuck. As the collective starts to shift into this 5D consciousness, we're starting to feel the resistance that's happening. You're starting to notice that there is a psychological war that's happening, a spiritual war, and it is the underbelly of this revolution. It's what is pushing this revolution to come to fruition here on Earth. It's this understanding that in order to shift, we must shed. In order to enlighten, we must let go of that which is holding us back. In order to awaken, we must heal. And that healing comes from the deepest depths of the darkness. The darkness likes to keep us stuck. The darkness wants us to feel fear, hatred, anger, division, segregation, rage, jealousy, mad. It wants us to feel this frequency that will keep us stuck in this vibration that we're seeing that's not working for the universe anymore, in this 3D vibration. The darkness doesn't want us to be able to be the light and see the light and transform. In essence, you can consider the darkness wanting to consume us by keeping us trapped, by keeping us stuck. And that is why you may be feeling like there is this energy of resistance right now, that you are trying to shift into 5D consciousness, but you keep being pulled back. And that's the frequency of darkness. The darkness does not want you to evolve. But you have a responsibility, and you are also feeling it at your core that the time to evolve, the time to shift is now. So what do you have to do in order to align with this 5D consciousness, this 5D frequency, in order to be able to shift into this light energy that understands community, unity? Now more than ever, the darkness wants to see us fighting. It wants to see us divided. It wants to see us hating each other. It wants to see us practicing segregation, division. It wants us ostracizing others who are different than us. Why? Because the more that we combat each other, the more that we fight each other, the less that we are able to unify and place our energy towards that which is keeping us stuck, limited, bound, and looped in toxic cycles. It's a distraction mechanism, and it's often used in war. That's why in the beginning of this video, I shared with you the quote from Sun Tzu from The Art of War. I would really encourage every single one of you to go read that book to understand what it is saying, because this is a psychological and spiritual war that we are undergoing right now. In order to shift from this 3D consciousness to this 5D consciousness, we need to be able to understand that this war that we are going through on this planet right now is not a physical one. It is spiritual, it is mental, it is emotional, and it is psychological. And the more that we continue to be hateful towards one another, the more that we continue to want to focus on the differences, on the reasons to be angry, on the reasons to continue to feed, the division, the segregation, the combative nature, the less that we'll be able to shift into 5D consciousness, the less that we'll be able to vibrate at the light frequency. So how do we stay united with individuals even though we may have vast differences with one another? That's why I brought up the Freedom Convoy. The Freedom Convoy is a perfect example of how divisive dark energy, stuck energy, 3D consciousness is attempting to take away from the movement in itself that is unifying the people regardless of differences. It's unifying people of different races, ethnicities, values, belief systems. It's bringing everyone together to vibrate at that light frequency. So what is the darkness doing? The darkness is focusing on the divisive energy. The darkness is wanting to pinpoint every single reason why you don't want to be supporting this convoy. The darkness is wanting to focus on the rage, the anger, the jealousy, the combative nature. It's wanting you to focus on all the reasons why you should hate the convoy, why you should be against the people who are supporting the convoy, so that we can continue to stay in this combative nature with one another, continue fighting each other, and have our energy diverted away from the root cause, which is dark frequency, the dark energy, the dark vibration. And so I would really encourage you to start asking yourself, even if you don't support the Freedom Convoy in its essence because of maybe who started it or what you're hearing on the news, ask yourself why it may be so difficult for you to come together with people who have different values, even if it's momentarily and if it's for a higher good. So let me offer you this idea or this example to help you put things into perspective. See, I'm not here to tell you to support the Freedom Convoy or not. I'm not here to tell you to unify with others if you don't want to. I'm here to support you in understanding how we can shift from 3D to 5D consciousness. So let's just say you're on this boat. On this boat, there is a convicted felon. On this boat, there is someone who is a murderer. On this boat, there is an individual who is a victim of abuse. On this boat, there is you. And on this boat, there is also an individual who oftentimes has been very ego-centered in the way that they have operated towards others. Maybe a little bit condescending, egotistical, maybe even a little bit brash with others. So while you're all on this boat, you're all stranded on this boat. And all of a sudden, this boat is sinking. What are you going to do? Are you going to refuse to help? Or are you going to refuse to work together with the convicted felon, with the murderer, with the person who is a bit condescending and brash and egotistical? What if the only way for all of you to survive was for the 5 of you to work together, to put your differences aside, regardless of your personal belief systems, regardless of what you know they have done in the past? But what if the only way for all of you to survive is to put your differences aside and work together so that the 5 of you can survive? Because 4 of you can't survive, 3 of you can't. You all need to work together to survive as this boat is sinking. What would you do? Would you die? Or would you want to survive? Would you put your differences aside to work with the convicted felon, the murderer, the egotistical, maybe narcissist individual, the victim of abuse in yourself? Would you all work together? And this is where this example drives the point and the importance of understanding that while we all have pasts, we all have things that we have done that we may regret, be remorseful of, or maybe they may have even been really ugly things that we may have done in the past. We have a conscious choice every single day to shift our perspective and start operating from heart center. When we start operating from compassion, from unity, from kindness, from understanding, from sympathy, from empathy, we start understanding that we are all very different beings. And it is okay to be different. Don't get stuck and sucked into this idea that we all need to be the same. That's beehive mentality. And it takes away from the uniqueness that is you. You and I can be very similar, but we can also have differences. And that's where it's important to recognize that it's okay to be unique, that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to have different values, that it's okay to have different sets of morals. But where it's important, where we must operate from, is at heart center, is that abundance mindset. And it's knowing that we are all connected and that we are all one. When we operate, hi Raven, when we operate from the frequency of oneness and understanding that I am connected to Raven as much as you are connected to Raven, as much as I am connected to you, we start acting in the vibration and the frequency for the highest good of all, not just for those that we like because they have similar values, points of views, or way of living like us. Unconditional love means that we are able to love people regardless of the things that they have done in the past. But the ego doesn't want you to do that. The ego wants you to stay mad. The ego wants you to stay frustrated. The ego wants you to be resentful. The darkness wants you to still feel the rage, and the darkness wants you to feel the shame and the guilt. And that's where the biggest lesson comes in shifting from this 3D to 5D consciousness. It's an understanding that we must be able to forgive from the heart. Not necessarily forget because we have boundaries, but forgive and be able to find ways to unite with each other, regardless of our differences, for a higher good, for a collective good. And so while the darkness may try and bring you down, the darkness may want you to participate in cancel culture, in hatred toward each other, in division, in anger, in rage, the hatred and the darkness may want you focusing on thinking about all the bad things that all these people have done so that you can continue to feel the emotions of the lower frequencies. It's so important for you right now to understand that when you operate in light, when you operate from the frequency of love, of oneness, then you are the light. That's why even in the darkest moments, you must always be the light, be the love, be the kindness, be the compassion, be understanding, be patient, practice empathy, sympathy. Understand that while you may not be experiencing adversity right now, it doesn't mean that other people aren't experiencing adversity right now. And that just because your life may have not been negatively affected by what's been happening the past 2 years here on earth, it doesn't mean that other people's lives have not been affected either. For their lives may have been gravely affected. They may have experienced financial loss, financial ruin. They may have lost their jobs. They may have lost their businesses. They may have lost people that they love. They are all suffering. When one suffers, we all suffer. And that is the biggest understanding in 3D to 5D consciousness, is that when we are able to transform ourselves, we start vibrating at this light frequency, this love frequency, this frequency of kindness, of empathy, of forgiveness. When was the last time you forgave yourself for all the things that you've done in the past? How much hatred, how much guilt, how much shame do you carry from the things that you've done in the past? When was the last time you forgave yourself? When we start forgiving ourselves, when we start transforming ourselves, when we start operating from light, the darkness can't take a hold of us anymore. And it's going to try. It's going to try and suck you in. It's going to try and bring you down. It's going to continuously try over and over again. But the brighter you shine, the brighter I shine, the brighter we shine. The light starts to shine more and more and brighter and brighter. And before you know it, that darkness becomes obsolete. And that's the biggest lesson to learn and understand as we're shifting from this 3D to 5D consciousness. That the more that we vibrate in the frequency of oneness, the more that we vibrate and align with the energy of abundance mindset, of understanding that everything is happening in divine order for the highest good, that every moment of adversity or difficulty is actually a learning opportunity. When we start understanding that everything that's happening in this world is an exact reflection of us and that we are simply mirroring situations and projecting onto others sometimes. When we start looking at ourselves in the mirror and asking ourselves, where can I do better? Where can I love myself a little bit more? Where can I practice more patience and compassion with myself? Where can I be kinder to myself? Where can I let go of guilt and shame? That's how you start vibrating at the light frequency. Because the more that you are able to practice those specific actions and those characteristics with yourself, the more that you will do it out into the world as well. And that's how we shift from this 3D to 5D consciousness. That's how we are able to vibrate at unity consciousness, in this energy of one love. And not only do we help to change our own lives, but we help to change the world. And we align with what Mother Earth is asking of us right now, which is to restore balance. It's no coincidence that we're seeing all these massive shifts happen right now, because we must now work together. The time is now to embrace the shift from 3D to 5D consciousness. The time is now to restore balance onto Mother Earth. The time is now to vibrate at the frequency of oneness, at the frequency of light. And no matter how much the darkness tries to suck you in, and no matter how much people may try and suck you in, you must always, always show up in love, kindness, and compassion with them. And understand that they are on their own journey. And so if they project hatred or anger or divisive energy towards you, if they want to point out all the bad things or all the wrong reasons why you're supporting something that you shouldn't be supporting, if they're trying to get you to do what they want you to do without respecting who you are and what you would like to do, well, don't meet them at the vibration, at the frequency that they're at. Don't meet hate with hate. Meet hate with love. Meet hate with kindness. Meet hate with compassion, with understanding, with patience, and with boundaries. And that's how we're going to be able to help shift this world. You're seeing it happen already. The spiritual awakening is here. The revolution is here. The psychological war is here. The spiritual war is here. And you are a warrior. You have chosen to be on this earth in this particular time for this particular reason. Because you have an important soul purpose. Something very important that you need to complete. And part of it right now is to be the light. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been working for. Now you understand why maybe you had to face adversity or difficulties or challenges in the past, why you continue to learn the lessons, even the really hard ones, the ones that you didn't want to learn. Because now is the time to vibrate at the frequency of love, at the frequency of oneness, kindness. Continue to be the light, no matter what. Continue to shine bright. If you like this video, drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know where you're struggling. Let's talk. Let's help each other out. Let's help each other understand how it is beautiful to be unique and different while still coming together for a collective good. It's an understanding the oneness where we'll be able to shift our perspectives and understand that it is okay to unify with people. It's okay to be in the frequency of love and kindness, even with maybe people that you have differing opinions with. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes. If you are interested in working together with me, take a look at the description box below. I actually have a course for those of you that are ready to radically transform your life. It's called Align and it starts on March 3rd, and I'd love to see you there. We'll chat soon. We'll see you later, alligator. Peace out. Bye.